What's up, guys? Chef Michael, restrauntreal.com. Coming up, we're going to talk about some more takeout and delivery issues, how to handle a food poisoning situation, and my ideas on how to survive this second wave of COVID concerns. This is Restaurant Real. Hey. So, just checking in. Today's supposed to be my day off. I mean, I generally try to take Sundays off. Not that you ever have a day off in this business when you're the owner. But just to let you know what I've been dealing with all morning. First thing, I had to deal with a upset customer again because we're in this COVID situation and we've got these takeout and delivery companies. And so this customer is all bent out of shape because she ordered her food at 5:15 and she didn't get notified. Apparently the system, the third-party company tells you when the food is ready. There's no way they can actually tell you. I don't know why they would say that. My system isn't linked to theirs in such a way that they know when the food is finished cooking. I do have a default setting that we can kind of plus or minus throughout the night. So when an order comes in, the standard is like 30 to 40 minutes. And so when the customer placed the order, they got an email instantly. Actually, they're on the website. They press submit, and then right up there comes this, sorry. Immediately there comes a little 30 to 40 estimated pickup time. And then automatically to their email gets that same thing emailed, just in case for some reason they clicked off the page too quick. And then if they subscribed via text message, they're supposed to get text message when the order is ready to be picked up. But they've already got the 30 to 40 minutes. So I guess this customer just clung on to the last sentence of, hey, I'll get a text message, and she never came to pick it up. She came in 2 hours later. I mean, she was ordering a pizza. So like a pizza and a appetizer meatball. So I mean, like literally, if you had no tickets, you're talking about like a 7-minute dish. You know, again, so 30 to 40 minutes is for sure good. And I just can't help but thinking like, why did you wait 2 hours? Like you got to know like what the standard time is. Like, and I asked around, it's like, how long do you think it's going to take for an order? It doesn't matter what it is. You know, assume it's not an overly large order. An order for a family of 4 maybe, let's call it. You know, or even just a pizza. How long do you expect it to take? 30 minutes is the common answer, and that's pretty much the right answer. How long are you willing to wait? Ask yourself that question. How long are you willing to wait to get something delivered or picked up? Like if you order to go and you go to pick it up. Yeah, and the common answer is going to be the most you will wait is 1 hour. Absolutely, because when you're hungry and you're ready to order, most people aren't ordering like 6 hours in advance because they're so smart and planning ahead. I mean, there's some women like that, but I know I ain't like that. Most dudes aren't like that, and certainly, you know, the general public isn't probably like that. My wife is like that. She's on top of that shit. But anyway, yeah, so it's like you had to know. Like, that's all I'm saying is like you had to know a pretty good idea when it was going to be ready and just head on down, right? Like, what's the worst case scenario? You wait a few extra minutes. You know, if I see you there, then you're gonna, you know, the server's gonna tell me, the host is gonna tell me, and I'm gonna step on the gas on that one if I'm behind, right? You know, or if I am running late, hell, I'll buy you a drink in the meantime. I don't know, but why does it gotta turn into something bad? You know? So that was the first one I waste half the morning with, and just as I'm like done with that, I start working on my car out here on my day off. I enjoy doing that. And what happens? I get a text message from some ladies saying that she got food poisoning. And I'm like, oh my God, this is just the worst. You know? So I I mean, I never really had a case of food poisoning. I've had a couple people in my 10 years, kind of try to say something, and whether or not it was correct, it's like, I don't know. My daughter gets stomach aches all the time, and I'm not even sure why. If I eat too much rich food, I'll get freaking diarrhea for sure. My belly starts hurting, sure. It doesn't necessarily mean food poisoning. And no, I'm not a doctor. I don't know how you would go ahead and say it's food poisoning, but and like I said, not that it doesn't happen, but I look into it, and I mean, everything is up to date. We got everything dated, and the item that the customer ate is absolutely fresh. And there's so much fast turnaround that there really shouldn't have been an issue. And most importantly, I mean, we're we're a clean restaurant. We always do our best to sanitize and wash our hands, especially right now. And um, I always get a clean bill of health from the health department. And most importantly, I don't have any other customers tell me they got food poisoning, right? And certainly over the past weekend, I had to have at least 200 customers eat that same dish, that same item. So I don't know. I'm about to call her. I haven't actually talked to her yet, and it's stressful. It's a stressful part of this business. Like, shit, I got to take my day off, call this customer. So I mean, just so they can yell at me. I mean, if you're sick, you're obviously better if you're calling me. So I mean, you're either calling me because you want to sue me, you want to yell at me, or you want me to give you something free. I don't know. I mean, there's just I know I don't want to sound like a dick, but there's those things. You know, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm wicked sorry. But do you do you try and find out like if it was you? Do you defend yourself? I guess. Do you defend um, your reputation? Do you say, well, do I say something like, well, did anybody else at your table get sick? Do I state to her that nobody else got sick in my restaurant? Or do I just shut up and be like, I am so sorry. I don't know what happened. I will look into it and make sure everything is up to date. I mean, it's not that, I mean, there's so many moving parts. It's not that one of my employees could have dropped the ball and fucked up, you know, but it's rare. I mean, it's not rare that they fuck up, but it's certainly rare that it would be that kind of fuck up. Normally it's them overcooking shit, not undercooking shit. So that's a big thing right there. Honest to God, and that's a good solid reason why I'm confident that there was no raw, food poisoning type bacteria. Because yeah, these guys often lean towards the side of way. Like I wouldn't let them cook steak. I tell you that. But anyway, yeah, it's stressful. This I'm gonna call this lady so she can yell at me. Like I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound exciting at all. You know, you're just gonna ruin my day off. I'm out here enjoying the weather and working on my car, and you're just gonna rain on my parade and ruin my day. I already had that this morning from one customer. So this is one of those moments in the business that just really sucks. And right now, because of the COVID, it's happening a lot. I don't normally get it happening like this much. I mean, you deal with situations, a variety of situations, but right now there's definitely a quality issue because of the delivery companies out there, the takeout company, that kind of situation. The COVID thing is just, even though we have traffic, it's been a real big issue and it's killing us in many different ways. So I'll probably check back in with you after this phone call. I'll let you know how it went. Yeah, I'm not shaving and I'm dirty, so ignore that shit. So I ended up calling that lady back, handled it the only way you really can, is just gently. Um, she was very cordial and understanding, as was I, and I think she'll remain a customer in the future. And we'll just step up our precautions just in case, because you never know. There's so many moving parts in the business. It's who's to say somebody couldn't have fucked up, but certainly we do everything we can to avoid that. So right now, the a lot of governments are kind of rolling back or halting reopening plans. It's been a tough go as it is. Um, Here's my thoughts on how you can stay afloat, what you can do to create other sources of revenue, and whatnot. So obviously, that first source is going to be takeout and delivery. So from the beginning, we weren't really a takeout delivery type of restaurant. We're more fine dining. So I never really concerned myself with takeout and the procedures for that. So we really got a crash course on how to figure that one out. And there was a pivotal moment that really helped me survive. Um, a local restaurateur came in to pick up some food for their staff for lunch, and he and I started talking, and he told me that he was now using this DoorDash company. Up until then, I was using every other one. They've got Postmates, Grubhub. Um, there's one other one out there, Uber Eats. I was signed up with all those guys, but I hadn't gotten to DoorDash because what's the difference, right? I mean, it's a company. There's, you know, I would imagine Postmates has got like Martha Stewart as the spokesperson, so maybe they're going to be the best. Well, this guy's like, hey, I signed up with DoorDash and like instantly my sales are almost the same as they used to be. And I'm like, wow, okay. So I got on that bus real quick. I signed up with DoorDash and I'll be the first to admit it was a nightmare. Like it was like that company just so busy or just not ready for it. There's a whole video I put together just of how retarded that was. But anyway, total godsend in another way because my sales, the majority of my sales, started coming in from DoorDash, and these other guys just produced nothing. I mean, Grubhub. What I would say is, don't waste your don't waste your time with Postmates. I don't know if that's a middle America company, an East Coast company. I don't know, but nobody uses it out here. I got like maybe 2, 3 a week from Postmates. Grubhub, probably 25% of my sales are Grubhub, which is pretty nice. But then, the other 75% are DoorDash, absolutely. And don't get me wrong, all three of them suck. But, it's a necessary evil right now. So if you haven't signed up with the top two, sign up with them right now. That would be my number one. And I think you would make it through this, even if we if we end up having to do this secondary shutdown. I think we'll all make it through. As soon as this whole COVID thing started happening, I immediately started thinking about what else I can do to make additional revenue streams. So what we ended up doing is we're now bottling our Italian dressing. We have a Grammy's Italian dressing, and we went through the whole spiel, the UPC code, and the nutritional label, all that stuff, and got it professionally packaged, and it's ready to go to market right now. We're doing the same with our marinara and our lasagna bolognese. So I got 3 products ready to go on grocery store shelves. And hey, if that was just in case, but it couldn't hurt, and that's great. Something I always wanted to do anyway. We also started doing family meals, realizing that everybody's home and, there's not a lot of dough to be had. So give people like, one-stop shop. Here's your family meal, might be chicken parmesan with pasta and a salad and some bread and even an appetizer for a good, a fair price. So we sold a lot of those. I stopped doing those once we started doing service in-house, but we could start doing those again. Um, Speaking of families, there is a number of programs out there. If you wanted to research them, and there was one in my town for Roseville or that county, but then look into the state as well. So I know that the Sacramento, I think it's called Family Food Banks, is one of them, and there's several others. Basically, what they're doing is they're employing restaurants to provide food to the needy, but they're paying you. So it's not a whole lot of money, but it's certainly moving your food, you know, which is important because you don't want to just, freezing that shit and lowering the quality or throwing it away, definitely. So there's that. The seating, I don't know about this particular one, but I mean, during the worst of it, I mean, no, nobody could come in. And it was all just a line of people outside. But maybe this time, if they were to slow it down, just outdoor seating. And if you've got any outdoor space, I mean, Roseville's talking about changing their parking spaces in front of my building, all down the whole street, into seats, like just put little booths out there, which is great. You could do the same thing, especially if you've got like a sidewalk. I've got a parking spot behind the building with a rear entrance that I'm like, I could just, throw down a cool outdoor rug and boom, I got 4 tables. And I know outside seating is certainly more comfortable for the customer, and maybe more, appreciated by the government. So yeah, I don't think there's any reason you can't do that. Technically you're supposed to get, permits in some of those counties. I don't think they're gonna give a shit. I think you just do it and, be cool with it. If you have a liquor license, you do or should call up the ABC. I bet you I've never had a bad instance with the ABC. They're a very daunting company, but they're so cordial. They're really a good company. I don't know if you call them a company because they're government, but definitely some good people there. So I bet you they would probably, hook you up. It's a simple process anyway. I had already done it for the outside a long time ago. But if you haven't, you can do that. And now, even if you're limited capacity or just outside seating, it's going to help. It's going to help, right? And, the worst thing that could happen, like, I don't know, complete total shutdown. I mean, I think I would probably still do to-goes, but there's so many drug companies out there coming out with vaccines. Like somebody's coming out with something like this whole month of July is just going to be, gangbusters for tests and stuff, and that's going to be great. So it's like, basically, just hold your breath for a minute. And so this is my last idea, is like, just give everybody vacation. And I know we've kind of been stretched already, but like, I've got minimum wage employees already right now looking to take vacations. And I'm like, well, we've just been going through this COVID, but my back of the house, they didn't really lose any hours. My cooks, yeah, so maybe now they're only working 40 hours a week instead of 60. But, still I got 3 employees looking to take vacation this week. So, maybe you could do that. Maybe you've got some vacation time on the books for them that, you're going to pay them that anyway. So might as well just give them a vacation. Say, hey guys, I got to put everybody on vacation this week. I mean, for me, it's actually the slowest time of the year, is July. So, go ahead and take a vacation, and maybe in 7 days, everything will be better. That's one idea. So, if that doesn't help you, and I mean this, very sincerely, like, um, I'm totally happy to help you in any way I can. Leave me a comment. Let's start a dialogue and see what we can do. I've got, you know, 2 going on 3 restaurants. Um, they're they're all doing pretty well through this, and so I think I've got some knowledge that I can help you with, and I'm happy to help in any way possible. You know, I've got lots of creative ideas, what we can do as, you know, or whatever, you know. So shoot me a comment, whatever that, however you do that social media crap, and there you go. So thanks, guys. I'll talk to you soon.